So in this video, we're going to learn how to multiply radicals. Multiplying radicals is very straightforward, although there are a couple of key exceptions that you have to be mindful of. So in this first example, root 2 times root 3. Root 2 times root 3, just multiply straight across, it gets you root 6. And because we can't simplify square root of 6, it's not divisible by a perfect square, this is our final answer, and that's it. Okay, now here, that's the first scenario. In the second scenario, what happens when you do multiply and you can simplify, right? So root 3 times root 8 is going to give you root 24. Now you got to ask yourself, wait a minute, this is a fairly large number. Is it divisible by any of the major 4, which is root 4, root 9, root 16, and root 25? And the correct answer to this question would be, yeah, it's divisible by root 4. So whenever you multiply, you're always going to create, to some extent, a larger number that you want to simplify, okay? So it is divisible by the perfect square of root 4 and root 6, right? Root 4 is the perfect square that allows you to simplify. So square root of 4 becomes 2 root 6. And there we go. And that's it. Okay, let's just do one more and then we'll be done with this. So let's just take something like root 4 times root 12, okay? Even though both of these can be simplified, let's just do it anyway. This is going to give you actually root 48. And you don't want to divide actually by 4 because the highest perfect square that it's actually divisible by is not 4, but actually 16. So 16 times 3, and there we go. Root 48 simplifies to 4 root 3. So that's the first idea. But what happens when you have coefficients, okay? So when you have coefficients and you're multiplying radicals, let's just say you have 2 root 3 times 3 root 4, or let's just say 3 root 6 actually, okay? What happens here? Well, it's very simple. It's outside, the coefficients times the coefficient, so outside times outside. That's going to, 2 times 3 is going to give you 6. And then put the square root symbol, and then inside times inside. 3 times 6 is going to give you 18, okay? And again, from here, you want to ask yourself, this is a fairly large number. Is it divisible by any perfect squares? And in this case, the highest perfect square would be 9. So in order to simplify this, you keep the 6, keep the coefficient, split 18 up into root 9, root 2. And then from here, you simplify. Square root of 9 simply becomes 3. So put that in parentheses. And then you just drop the 6, drop the root 2. And then you want to ask yourself, what's 6 times root 3? 6 times 3. And 6 times 3 is going to simply give you 18. So the final answer to this question is going to be 18. All right, we're going to do one more example of this caliber, and then we're going to move on from here. So let's just say 5 root 2 times 6 root... let's do 9, 12 again, something like this, 12. Even though the number is going to be crazy, I want to show you guys that you have to simplify ultimately at the end. So outside times outside, coefficient times coefficient, 5 times 6 is 30. And then here you get here inside times inside, or radicand times radicand. So 2 times 12 is 24. Again, 24 is a fairly large number, so you really want to think about what it's divisible by. What's the highest perfect square that's divisible by? So drop that 30, leave it there, and then just split this off into 2 pieces. The highest perfect square, and the perfect square always goes on the outside, is going to be 4. 4 times 6 gets you to 24. So we say 30 times 2, and then root 6. Everything drops down, and then finally just evaluate 30 times 2, and 30 times 2 is going to give you 60 root 6, okay? So that's how you do multiplication. Now, there's a couple of things, you know, in case, actually, and I'll show it to you guys with, like, the next video, okay?